Hello everyone on the call and those who joined to watch the recorded version. Welcome to CENMAC's Thursday 30, and I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce Chantal and Sarah, who are two amazing people from Teach Us Too and have formed the Alliance for Inclusion Literacy. So I'm sure they'll be introducing themselves, so I'll hand over to you so that you get your full half an hour. But thank you very much for running this.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, and thank you for inviting us to speak today. I'm Chantal Bryan. I'm the chair of the Alliance for Inclusive Literacy.
And I'm Sarah Giles, the Secretariat for the Alliance.
The Alliance exists to champion equitable access to literacy education for all learners, including those who've been historically excluded from meaningful opportunities to develop reading and writing. Today, we want to briefly introduce why the Alliance was created, what we believe, who we're seeking to bring together, and ultimately what change we hope to see across the literacy landscape.
So we wanted to begin with this question: who is literacy really for? Because despite significant progress in inclusion, there are still many children and young people for whom literacy is not viewed as an entitlement. In many cases, access to literacy is still determined by assumptions about cognition, communication, physical disability, or perceived readiness. The Alliance exists because we believe that literacy belongs to everyone, and that includes pupils who are non-speaking, those with the label profound and multiple learning difficulties, who are physically disabled, AAC users, those working at early developmental levels, and those for whom progress might look very different than conventional expectations. We believe the question should not be, can this child learn literacy, but rather, what support and access and teaching does this child need in order to make progress?
The Alliance was created because too many schools and professionals continue to feel isolated in this work. Across the country, there are educators doing incredible things, but often in pockets without connection, visibility, or shared advocacy. At the same time, we continue to see pupils denied early access to robust communication systems, labelled before their potential has been properly explored, excluded from literacy teaching because of assumptions around cognition, placed onto reduced or sensory pathways before meaningful access has been provided, considered not ready for reading and writing, or disapplied from literacy altogether because it's seen as inappropriate. The Alliance exists to challenge that narrative. We want to help shift the conversation from limitation to possibility. And importantly, we want to ensure that literacy remains visible within wider conversations around inclusion, SEND, and educational equity.
And at the heart of the Alliance are some very clear core beliefs. We believe that everyone deserves access to literacy, access to text and print, opportunities to develop reading and writing skills, high expectations, meaningful progression, and communication systems that support participation. We also recognise that progress looks different for different learners and that small steps matter. Assessment systems must recognise diverse developmental pathways, and literacy and communication are deeply interconnected but distinct. For many pupils, communication access is foundational. Without reliable communication systems, it becomes incredibly difficult for pupils to demonstrate understanding, agency, or potential. But we strongly believe the absence of speech should never be mistaken for the absence of literacy potential.
The Alliance is intentionally broad and collaborative. We bring together teachers, SENCOs, school leaders, therapists, researchers, trusts, organisations, families, AAC users, disabled people, and advocates. We know meaningful change cannot happen in silos. Literacy access sits across education, communication, leadership, policy, and lived experience. So the Alliance aims to create a space where all of those perspectives can come together. Ultimately, the Alliance is for anyone who is passionate about the importance of literacy for all pupils.
We are particularly focused on learners who are frequently excluded from those literacy conversations. So those students we were talking about before, non-speaking students, AAC users, pupils labelled with PMLD, non or minimally speaking autistic pupils, and those who are physically disabled. Ultimately, this work is about educational equity. It's about ensuring that pupils with complex needs are visible within literacy teaching, literacy policy and literacy expectations. Inclusive literacy should not be viewed as a specialist extra. It should be part of what good education looks like.
The Alliance currently works across two main areas. The first is advocacy. This includes responding to policy and reform, including the CEND consultation, which is out at the moment, raising expectations nationally and amplifying lived experience. We want to ensure pupils with complex needs are represented within national literacy discussions. The second area is community, bringing together professionals to collaborate, reflect and learn from one another. One of our key aims is to make inclusive literacy practice more visible, more connected and more accessible to more people.
We currently have two routes to join the Alliance. We have community membership, which is designed primarily for individuals, bringing those people together, as Chantal just said, teachers, therapists, advocates, professionals or parents who want a supportive space to learn, connect and develop their practice. And organisation membership that is designed for schools, trusts, universities, charities, organisations who want to play a more outward-facing role in influencing and shaping the sector. Both routes are equally important. One focuses more on reflective practice and connection, and the other on collective leadership and sector-wide influence. But both are grounded in the same shared values around literacy, equity and inclusion.
Because we strongly believe that change happens collectively. One of the reasons the Alliance was created was because so many people told us they felt isolated in this work, often being the only person in a school, service or local authority advocating for ambitious literacy approaches. The membership community exists to connect people who share the same values, reduce professional isolation, share evidence-informed practice, challenge low expectations, and strengthen the national conversation around literacy and inclusion. It works by filling in a form online, and then you get to join a Slack community, which is a separate app, and you can have conversations and ask questions and introduce yourself and use that as a community and a forum online to be able to connect with other people. Because we want people to feel supported, inspired and connected. And importantly, we want inclusive literacy practice to become more visible and more normalised across the country. You've heard quite a lot from Sarah and me about why the Alliance was set up, and now we're going to hear from two members of the Alliance steering group. The first of those is Dr. Sarah Mosley.
Hello, my name is Dr. Sarah Mosley and I'm an educational consultant, trainer, author and a former special school head teacher. My work focuses on inclusive literacy, neurodiversity and reducing barriers to learning for all of our young people. I joined the Alliance because I genuinely believe that the way forward is through collaboration. So much of the work that we're doing feels really isolating. And actually what we need to do is bring together the passionate people that we have in this field and get them to really focus on those conversations about what works best within our classrooms, looking at that good practice, the theory, the strengths that we already have and build on that to make sure that we don't have a situation where there are isolated instances of good practice in one place, but not within another. It's actually linking together that power of that collaborative thinking. Because literacy is far more about reading and writing. It's about communication, it's about identity, it's about confidence. And it's about that importance of that opportunity that we give all of our young people to actually keep being in an environment where high expectations are accessible and available to everyone. If you're someone who wants to make a difference, if you're someone that wants to think about how we can support learning for everyone, accessible, meaningful literacy opportunities to be embedded across everything that we do. If you want to connect with others, if you want to reflect on practice, if you want to be part of a positive change in education, then I would absolutely say that this is the place where you should be. I'm really excited about the journey that we're on, and I'm really excited about connecting with so many more people through the Alliance. Hopefully you'll see this and you'll make the decision to join us. Thank you for listening.
And the second professional we're going to hear from is May. May works in the A Centre. It was actually a conversation with May back in September that prompted this first thought about the need to bring organisations and professionals together in this way. The A Centre do some great work around communication, and also May and Katie Leckenby have a particular interest in literacy. And I realised that there are lots of organisations out there who are doing great work. You've just seen their logos on our first slide, but all working in individual ways. So bringing together an alliance was one of the reasons that we set it up. Let's hear from May.
Hi, I'm May. I'm an AAC consultant at A Centre, and I'm part of the steering group for the Alliance for Inclusive Literacy. I'm really honoured to be able to tell you a bit more about myself, my experience today, to really give a picture of the group of us that have set this up and get you on board in helping facilitating that change moving forward. So why did I join? Well, prior to A Centre, I was a teacher for 10 years, teaching individuals with SEND with a whole host of communication needs. I used lots of different AAC, paper-based and electronic, and I loved being in that environment, and what was really important to me was the importance of that literacy and ensuring that the pupils I taught had access to reading and writing, and saw firsthand the difference that made in empowering those individuals and starting them on the journey to become literate. I feel like with literacy, it's such an important fundamental skill. And thinking about my role as an AAC consultant and the connection between AAC and literacy, and once you're literate, that's when you're able to say whatever you want to say, whoever you want to say it to, whenever you want to say it, and have that real, true autonomy in your communication. And I refer into the training I do and into my practice a lot to Karen Erickson. And that whole concept that you're never too anything to learn to read and write. And those emergent literacy teachers should start right from the day dot when you first are a baby, and that's never too early. There's no prerequisites to that. So why do I think it's a good thing having this alliance set up? Well, I really think it's important to have that collective voice to facilitate change, and it's exciting that we've got lots of different organisations already involved at this wheel. We're right at the beginnings of this journey, and to have lots of organisations from different perspectives coming and joining together, that collective voice is incredibly powerful in supporting that facilitation of change, and really that sharing of excellent practice and things that have worked well and where those gaps are that we need to work on. And really that importance of presuming potential, and that communication is a human right for all. At A Centre, as part of my role as an AAC consultant, we talk a lot about access and the importance of access, and that often you may have an individual that has been given a label, for example, PMLD, but actually their access hasn't yet been found. They haven't been given that opportunity yet to learn. And we really believe quite passionately about that. Actually, once you've got that access right, then we can unlock learning in a new way. And I think having together, being part of this alliance and bringing together my knowledge base of AAC alongside literacy is a real benefit to being part of this and learning from the other organisations also involved. So why should you join? Well, it's an exciting opportunity, and as I said, we're right at the beginning of our journey, so getting people on board is very exciting, whether that be as a member or a community member, and that being able to share that good practice, having that backup there, to be able to bounce ideas off people, to enable you to advocate for the learners in your setting, to support that journey of change, and really the opportunity to share advice and information across different organisations and be part of the change we're really aspiring to achieve moving forward.
Ultimately, our vision is a future where literacy instruction is an expectation for all pupils, and that inclusive practice is embedded rather than exceptional. where teachers feel equipped and confident and progress is recognised equitably, that communication and literacy are understood as interconnected and pupils with complex needs are visible within literacy conversations. This is not about lowering expectations, but about removing barriers. It's about ensuring that pupils are given meaningful opportunities to engage with literacy, alongside the right communication access and support that they need to be able to participate. We want literacy to become something that is assumed possible, and then unless proven otherwise, rather than assumed impossible before teaching has even begun.
If the values and aims we've shared today resonate with you, we'd love you to join the Alliance, whether as an individual community member or as an organisation. Because ultimately, this work is bigger than one school, one charity, or one professional. It requires a collective voice. And together, we hope to continue raising expectations, sharing practice, and ensuring literacy remains visible for every learner. Thank you. I think we've got some time now for questions, if anyone has any questions or things they'd like to say. I will just say, but before there's potentially any questions, I'd love to put in the chat the link for the SEND consultation, which closes on Monday, this Monday the 18th. So do go and have a look at the consultation. And I'll also put on a link for some thoughts we put together as an alliance about how you might want to respond to various questions within the consultation from a literacy perspective. So I'll put both of those in the chat now.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Chantal and Sarah. I just wonder if people want to unmute to ask questions, because there's only a few of us on the call, so please feel free. I think Bear's got his hand up.
Yeah, I saw. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. At the start, CENMAC logo was amongst all the great company working with the Alliance. I just wonder, as a CENMAC member of staff, are we members already, or do we need to go through the QR code and register ourselves individually?
As a
yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, you can answer, Sarah.
Oh no, we are definitely members. Yeah, we're very happy and pleased because you know, the Alliance aligns very nicely with what we're passionate about too, and ensuring that young people get access to literacy. And yeah, so definitely be aware. CENMAC as an organisation as part of the Alliance.
So will we get the messages, newsletter and everything shared through our emails, or should we still register individually?
I would say if you want to be part of the community of sharing good practice as an individual practitioner, I think it would be a really good idea to sign up as a community member. Because then you have to, you know, your voice. CENMAC obviously have a strategic role as an organisation. But yes, if you want to have personal connection and get on board, then please do. So you can absolutely sign up as a community member. We'd love you to.
Cheers. Doing it now. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah, CENMAC joined us at the very beginning of the journey. Yeah, sorry, there's another question.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, hi, I'm Natalie, and we're in a SEND school, and I've started being a bit in touch with, since my Calibra audio, we've signed up to that, and we've signed up to the CENMAC conference and all of that. So we're starting to get really on board with all of this, and we're really excited to. We are mainly a school with students with autism, but we also have a PMLD class, and I'm the new literacy lead, so really interested in signing up a little bit to this. For us, would it be better for me to do it as an individual? I've just actually signed up my email immediately, but it's whether as a school would be better as well to join as a community as well, or is it better to do it as an individual and kind of lead from there?
I suspect at the moment it's probably better as an individual.
Yep.
I think if your school was going to sign up, we'd probably need someone from senior leadership.
Yep.
Obviously,
course,
you're obviously at that level, but sort of the head teacher to say, actually, yes,
yeah, of
totally
course, yeah.
kind of where we're
yes,
at.
of course.
But as an individual, do sign up and become a community member, because then you can join the community on there and get all the news from the Alliance, and people share information and things. So that'd be great. Where are you based, Natalie?
We're in Guildford.
Oh, right,
yeah. In Guildford, yeah.
Lovely.
So so in case of going towards that, sort of as a community, would that, like you said, it obviously needs to go via the senior leadership team and the head teacher?
No, the community doesn't. The community member doesn't.
Oh, sorry, the organisation. But then, but then for that, what would be the role of a school in that sort of process then?
At the moment, so for instance, our last meeting, which we had a few weeks ago, we went through the SEND consultation, and we highlighted a few questions that would be good to look at, and we talked about them as a full alliance, thinking about what our response might be to individual questions. So there's a question about capacity as well. There are four meetings a year that are an hour and a half each, and there is an expectation that every member organisation joins for those. And then as the chair and the secretariat, we use those and try to find ways into government to share those messages wider. There's a real, I mean, we maybe didn't make this really clear in our presentation, but from a policy perspective, you know, it's much stronger having more voices than just one voice saying literacy is really important. So so does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you. I'll start off and then we'll hopefully be able to expand in the future. But
Sarah's got something to add.
Oh, sorry.
Am I allowed to put my other hat on for a minute, Catherine, or is that not? Am I allowed to do that?
Sure.
Yes, so Chantal and I also run an organisation called Teach Us Too, which is a literacy charity. And from a school perspective, if it's something that you want to develop, I would say that is a really great place to start. There's some really, it's a charity, so it's not for profit. There's some on-demand training, there's literacy tools on it, and you'll feel free to contact us at any point. So I'm going to take my other hat off now and come back.
I was at last training at the 30 minutes.
Okay,
so I did see that one.
Brilliant.
So
thank you very much. Yeah, brilliant.
That's
okay.
great. Yeah, no, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No worries.
Thank you, Natalie.
Did we have any other questions from people? Just check the chat. Have you?
I think the chat's mostly me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Just putting links in.
Oh, well, if there's no other questions, then thank you both very much. Yeah, I hope, you know, we can share this recording and get more people signed up to the community, because like you said, it's great to build this network and have a louder voice. So yeah, hopefully that encourages more people. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for joining. And
thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.